Yeah. Look at the camera.
I'm looking at the camera.
Look at the camera.
It's day 16. We're super excited to be
And
here.
we're looking at the camera.
I'm looking at the camera. Anyway, it's day 16. And as every day, right before we're going to sit down and do this, Chris is like, what are we going to talk about? And that's how he says it. What are we going to talk about?
That sounds just like me.
So, of course, I have to come to the rescue. But what are we going to talk about today? So, I was thinking about maybe talking a little bit about how we started our journey a long time ago when we first met each other.
One of the most unusual and exciting adventures of our time. The Incredible Journey.
And I asked you, and you got it right. So, good job.
Nice.
And I think you're right.
What did I win?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I'll think of something. So we started MyFitnessPal together, and that was really based on like calorie restriction and stuff like that, which I don't think is the way to go
No.
at all. That's just
No.
me. I don't think that works.
Well,
Like you said.
we were eating, I think we were eating like 1,700 calories a day or something along those lines. And I was having trouble finishing workouts that I had been able to do before.
Can you move?
Ray, come in, please.
I feel so funky.
Yeah.
Especially at the end of the day after work. And, I would come to work out and I just couldn't do it. And we're going to take a break because the dog is obviously into something.
Go get her.
Okay, who brought the dog?
She was in the butter.
Yeah, our dog is the worst. Anyway, so I couldn't finish the workouts that I was doing, and
Yeah.
we kind of started looking into. We actually found a group that was interesting. It was called. Let me back up to that.
Yeah.
But like what we were doing is like we would eat like 900 calories during the day, and then like save 700 calories so that we could have like 2 pieces of cherry pie at the end of the day. And we do nothing.
We're doing
But
that right.
so obviously things weren't working, and so we found this group that was called Eat
Like,
More, Weigh
eat
Less,
More,
or
Weigh
something.
Less. Yeah.
And that actually
Something
started to
like
help
that.
for a while because we were upping our calories to like 2,300, and well, I was, and I think you were going up to like 1,700 or 1,800, something.
Yeah,
like
that was
and
a lot
I was
less.
able to work out, and everything was working much better.
Yeah.
But
I think after that, so we hadn't discovered that you needed to be gluten free yet.
correct.
So that was a big part of your problem.
Yes.
Like,
It may have been why I was losing weight.
yeah,
It may have nothing to do with the more calories I was eating.
that's true. Well,
Because once we went gluten free, then I started to gain weight back because gluten free stuff we were only doing substitutes. We weren't really doing any like
right.
Weight watching. And,
Yeah, and I think the key here is just to eat real food.
Yeah.
And I know that doesn't come with anything exciting. There's no prepackaged anything. It's just going and buying ingredients. And
But there's lots of
coming
exciting
home
stuff. Like tonight.
No, but you know what I mean. And it's not terribly convenient sometimes.
Tonight we made loaded sweet potatoes, which was amazing.
And that's
and
very good.
it was all made with sweet potatoes, broccoli, bacon, chicken, spinach,
Yeah.
and that's it. And
That's
so I mean, and 5 ingredients, 6 ingredients, and it was delicious and it was really good.
No, I know. I'm not saying that they can't be interesting or exciting, but like they're not incredibly convenient. I guess when I'm thinking of like when you start a new diet.
The dog is just being a nightmare tonight.
When you start a new diet, you're kind of like, oh, okay, what can I have? What can I cheat? Like that's always the first thing. Like, what can
Right.
I have that's
When's my
bad
cheat
for
day?
me? When's my cheat day?
Disgusting blob.
And that's probably not the best
Yeah, so
mindset to have.
you don't.
so.
Yeah, I think that diets we talked about diets don't work because
They're restrictive.
yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
And that's why I wouldn't. I don't want to call it or doing like a diet in the
Right.
sense of what people think of. I'm going on a diet. Like you should have a diet. That's what you
Correct.
eat.
Right. You should have a way of eating. That's
Right.
a-
And so if your way of eating occasionally includes something that isn't good for you, then I am okay with that. But, I was talking to a friend about this the other day. I'm like, you wouldn't tell a drug addict, like, you can just have a little bit. It's fine.
Right.
So you can't really tell a former sugar addict like myself. Sometimes not former. Sometimes
Big
it's
sugar addict.
Sometimes it's current, depending on what's going on in my life. But you can't tell me like, oh, just have a little bit,
Right.
Yes, have some.
Yes, have some.
because it's not what I was gonna happen.
This is the woman who used to put I think like 7 or 8
This
sugar
is so
packets in your
embarrassing that
tea.
You're sharing that.
Oh, why is that embarrassing?
That's so
but
rude.
it's an addiction, and I think that I remember you first telling me that we were going to give up sugar, and I'm like, you're crazy, you're nuts. There's no way. And then sure enough, we did, and
We did.
you know.
And then, we picked it back up a couple times, but I feel like now that we're older, it's probably a good idea to really leave it behind us.
yeah,
I never like to say never or anything like that,
No.
because don't set yourself up for that kind of failure. But, my goal is to right now to do the challenge and see how that goes. And really that has to be something that when I get to a place where I feel good about myself, then maybe I'll do that. But if I get to a place where I feel good about myself, why am I going to eat something that makes me feel bad?
right.
Or bad about myself?
Yeah,
Because
and-
food is such a temporary, like you talked about, like short-term,
Yeah,
pleasure.
but that's where it gets into. You can when you get to your goal weight, you could probably do something like 80-20. Where 80% of your meals, if 80% of your meals are clean and 20% aren't, you're probably going to be okay.
Yeah.
But people got to
Everyone
remember.
is so different, though.
People got to remember though, 20% of your meals in a week not clean is 4. Okay,
In a
out
whole
of
week.
21 meals,
Right.
it's 4. So don't think that you can eat a bagel every day and make that the 80-20. It doesn't really work that way. If you have a bagel, you can go out with friends, to lunch on Wednesday and Friday, and then have a dinner on Saturday. That's it.
Right.
The rest of the time, eat clean. So
Yeah. Well, we haven't gotten that far.
we haven't gone that far yet.
But-
We're not close to where we want to be.
No, and I think I'm thinking in this mindset change that we have, I'm really okay with not eating that stuff
Yeah.
because it got me to a place where I wasn't comfortable
Right.
with myself and I didn't feel good about myself, and I feel much better about myself now eating the good and really yummy food, and hopefully we can share some of our yummy recipes
We'll do that.
too. But
All right. I think we've talked enough.
I think that's all I have.
Okay. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.